Classmates, I'm Hank Moak. Dan Singletary and I are here representing the Nurks. We want to talk about those days in 1965 to 1967, what great memories, the lifelong friends like Dan, and also the memories, and a call out to Coach Jack Carlisle for showing us what being a Murrah Mustang was and the pride associated with that.
I'm going to answer the burning question, Hank, that I know all the Nurk fans that are out there have been agonizing over for the last 50 years. Why Nurks? Okay? Where did we come up with such a strange name? And the answer is we were big, huge Beatles fans. And in fact, a bunch of us rode the train up to Memphis to hear them play in the Mid-South Coliseum. But I ordered a book about the Beatles that gave their history, all about them when they were young and just starting out. And you and I looked at that one day and we realized the original name of the Beatles was the Nurk Twins.
Exactly.
That's all we needed. We went from there. And you know, the Nurks were they're a high school garage band, yeah. But these guys were really talented musicians and singers. Hank and Lynn and Mike and Buzz and I all sang in the Murrah Singers together. What a wonderful group that was. We sang at concerts, especially holiday season. We even sang on television. But do you remember the way the director of the Murrah Singers, Karen Guilfoyle, would reach back and grab a chalkboard eraser and chunk it at us whenever we were singing off-key or not paying attention? I went on to become a lawyer. Ms. Guilfoyle went on to become a Hinds County judge, and many years later, Hank, I was in a conversation with her about a legal issue in a case that we were in dispute about, and I asked her, was she going to throw something at me? So we had a big laugh about that. But the Nurks, back to the Nurks, one great escapade, really crazy escapade I remember about the Nurks was one summer we needed a place to practice. Steve Eds and I were the managers of the band and the roadies, occasional background singers. But Steve's mom and dad, the Reverend Mrs. Harold Eds, went out of town on a church conference, and they made the mistake of leaving Steve home alone. And I think Hank, maybe I, convinced Steve that it would just be a great idea for the Nurks to practice at his house. So the band went over there on a Saturday, set up in his mother's living room, as I recall, and a bunch of our friends followed us over there. Started playing. We raised the windows so that everybody could hear the music. Well, turns out the neighbors must not have been very, very big Nurks fans, because 30 minutes later the Jackson police showed up and shut us down. All our friends scattered. And there was an unsubstantiated rumor, I want you to know, that Reverend Eds later got a citation for a violation of the Jackson City noise ordinance. But in spite of that, we had more fun that day and really all our high school years as teenagers in Northeast Jackson at Murrah High School with this great group of guys. And it was Hank Moak, Lynn Stringer, Mike Johnson, Buzz Martin, Bill Godhelf, Rock Kendrick, Steve Eds, and me, the Nurks.
Dan, I didn't really remember that night because I didn't suffer any pain, because it wasn't at my house and it wasn't my dad that I had to go talk to.
Right.
But I do remember now, as you remind us, that was a fun night. As we're on this stage here, right over there is where we sang in an assembly program.
Right.
And I think we got most of the notes that day. We sang Hold On, I'm Coming, and In the Midnight Hour. In fact, this place was rocking. I couldn't believe that they let us do it here. And that was our first kind of exposure to maybe sounding reasonable. And then I looked up, and here come the roadies helping us get off the stage. It was just a great day. So I think something to really consider is, do we have one more gig in us?
Oh, absolutely. We'll come out of the nursing home.
So I think this summer in June, we really look forward to seeing you, our classmates of Murrah and Callaway, and I think we would use a line from a movie. We may just get the band back together.
you in June.